Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show and podcast. We are live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, and my YouTube channel. And today we will be continuing where we left off last week. Serenity Now. Strategies for staying peaceful in uncertain times. In a world full of uncertainty and constant change, finding inner peace can feel like an impossible task. Join us today as we explore practical techniques, transformative mindsets, to help you stay calm and centered no matter what life throws your way. And tune in so that you can discover how to cultivate that serenity and strength, even in the most challenging times, so that you can live an inspired and empowered life. Together, let's create a life you love. I'm your host, Nanci Deutsch, licensed clinical social worker, certified hypnotherapist, and intuitive breakthrough expert. I combine my counseling, coaching, and intuition to transform your life. This show is not a replacement for therapy or counseling. It is for educational purposes only. So let's get to it. So last week we were doing some breath work, and we were doing all different kinds of things. And now I want to talk a little bit about self-care. Now, self-care is so crucial. When you're talking about being able to find the inner peace, it is through the activity of self-care that you can allow yourself to go deeper into being able to access, to find your inner peace by doing self-care strategies. So, for example, one of the biggest self-care strategy is boundaries. I will tell you, in my own life and in almost every client that I have worked with, one of the biggest issues is boundaries. Now, most people that I know and work with, the boundaries are not strict enough. You're not doing enough self-care. And there also could be the other extreme where your boundaries could be too extreme, where you're not allowing yourself to enjoy yourself or enjoy your life. And really, the healthy place, the healthy state is that balance point. It's being in the middle. It's learning to be able to have healthy boundaries, to say no when you need to say no, and being able to expand your boundaries when you feel like there's a rigidity that you need to have. So I see Misty asked the question, where do we find the medium? So you find the medium and the balance point when it's about learning how to assess in yourself that you are in that medium place. If you aren't, and most of when you feel like, oh, I should have set the boundary with that person, or I wish I had set the boundary with that person. An example, and one of the best ways that you can discover is by your feelings. Your feelings will guide you to your truth. So, for example, if you discover and become aware of, and remember, awareness is really crucial. And if you become aware that you're feeling really angry or you're feeling resentful about doing or going somewhere or helping someone or not taking enough time for yourself, or you're feeling angry and resentful because you didn't say no when you needed to say no, then that's where the boundary needed to be. It's learning to say no when you need to say no, and being able to say yes when you need to say yes. So if you're feeling, I see the question that came in, and I'll get to that shortly. When you're noticing your feelings, that is one of the most important things you can do. Now, if you are in a place where you're helping someone out or you're doing something and you're feeling peace or you're feeling love or you're feeling joy, then there's no issue, no problem, no challenge. It's when you wish you had said no, or you should have said no, even though I don't want to put any shoulds on any of you. It's when you are feeling that anger and resentment that is a clue. It's a clue that you needed to say no. Now, if you are feeling guilted by a person, because people can guilt you, and you were like, I wish I didn't feel the guilt, because then I would have said no. So don't let other people guilt you. And I know it's easier said than done. I'm not saying this is an easy task. I'm pointing out for you the things for you to be aware of so that you can then make the choices that will support you to be able to stay calmer or more peaceful or go back to center. So again, you want to become aware of what you're feeling. So, and and then there are times where people may instill fear in you. Oh, you better do this or else. If you feel threatened or feared, that's also a no. That's really like, here's the thing. You do not want to feel obligated or like you have to do something for someone else or else. Now I know, like we've talked about, like family gatherings, and here's the thing. Again, there's this balance point. It's about making a choice whether you're choosing to go to a family gathering because you want to be around your family, or it feels like a real have to or an obligation where it feels so heavy and toxic that you say, this isn't for me. I need to not go to do my self-care. So all of that is important for you to become aware of so that you can make the conscious choices that empower you, those decisions that empower you to be able to keep moving forward and to keep feeling peaceful and to keep allowing yourself to be in that place of peace. Now, the other extreme are the rigid boundaries. Now, some of you may feel like, I have to do this. I have to, like, there's so much structure or so many boundaries, rigidity, that there's no flexibility. And if you're in that space or in that state, that's not healthy either. And so that's, it's going to be like, and you may even be doing the have tos on you. If you are feeling certain things, whether it's the obligation or the rigidity, and you feel you have to do something, or you're feeling compelled to do something, then that's something for you to look at and to loosen up the boundaries if there's too many, so that you can feel more free, because that's what you want, is to feel that freedom, that peace. So hopefully that was helpful. I know another thing came into from Anastasia. First, let me get to Mickey's, and then we'll continue on. And again, if there's any other questions or comments, please. So Mickey says the awareness is difficult to come by. And I totally agree with you. The awareness it's a journey. I really want to support all of you in remembering. Awareness is a journey. Okay? It's not a destination, because we are always growing. You are not the same person you were yesterday. In some ways, you have shifted, changed, or grown. And so awareness, and I'm going to do my Psych 101 so that we're all on the same page. The awareness comes when you come out of the subconscious into conscious mind. So your conscious mind is the part of you, when I say you make an empowered decision, and when you feel like you're aware of something and you're consciously aware and you're making that decision from conscious awareness, that is your conscious mind. Okay? And your conscious mind is the part that really empowers you with empowering decision making. Okay? Now, your conscious mind is the part that's aware, awake, alert, logical, and also integrating. It can integrate the logic and the intuitive. So when you're in alignment and you're feeling aligned and centered and grounded, that conscious awareness helps you, supports you in finding that serenity and finding that peace. And if you find that you are not, then your conscious mind can say, what can I do? What do I need to do in order for me to feel and go back to that place of peace and serenity? So then your subconscious mind or unconscious mind is the part of you from the moment you were conceived to present time, has recorded every moment, every breath you have taken. So in your subconscious mind, is your all the limiting beliefs, all the emotions, the things that would keep you from feeling that peace or the serenity. And your and also that includes your ancestors and and ancestral beliefs and traumas and emotions, and it also includes past lives. And all of that is part of what needs to happen in order for more clearing to happen so that you can create that balance. You can create those boundaries in healthy, appropriate ways, because that's what you want, to be able to say no in healthy, appropriate ways. And then there's the superconscious mind, which is that place of stillness and peace that we talked about before in the past shows on this topic. It's the still point. It's that place, that part of you that is the part of you that you want to access and come and bring into consciousness so that you can keep choosing and making those conscious choices to go back to that place. And if you're not feeling it, to be able to ask yourself, what can I do for myself now that will help me get back to serenity and peace? Okay. So the awareness is all about bringing consciousness into present time and to become aware what you are feeling or thinking. Now, if you become aware that, I call it thinking mode, the mind is going da, 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 and you're like really you're spinning, I call it spinning, and your mind is really active, you're not in present time. You're either in your past or your future, or both. And it's about coming back. And last week we did breathing exercises. So bringing yourself into awareness, into your breath, into your body brings you back into present time. So just, I really want you to know it's not necessarily easy, but it is a skill that can be learned, and you can all learn it. And learning to become consciously aware of what you're thinking and feeling, so that you can then make a conscious decision. What can you do to take care of yourself in the moment to bring you back to serenity and peace? And that's self-care. That's really crucial self-care and a self-care technique. Okay, Anas, I know we have more questions coming in, so let's get back to the questions. We have Anastasia. Saying no is hard for some because they just auto answer yes because they want the best for everyone. Yes, that is true. And one of the most important things that all of us can learn is learning when to say yes and when to say no. And when I'm teaching my classes on intuition, I'm always talking about tuning in to your intuition to guide you when to say yes and when to say no. Now, here's the thing. In order to know, KNOW, in order to know when you are meant to say yes or when you are meant to say no, you may or will probably need to do clearing. And you, especially if if someone asks you to do something or go somewhere and you really want to please them, Because a lot of times when you're in people pleasing mode, you say yes when you really want to say no. That's one of the things that happen. And so, what's going to be important is for you to clear and understand what's really going on for you. Is it, you can ask the question, is it for your highest and greatest good to do this with this person or not? And that would be a question you can ask. And so you may need to do some clearing of old energies, that people pleasing mode, so that you can get clarity in present time to know whether it's for your highest and greatest good to say yes or to say no. So, yes, people want the best for other people, but I'm really going to support all of you. Okay. That learning self care, and I call it essential self care, because many of us have grown up taking care of other people and other people's needs rather than our own. And so learning that when to say yes and learning when to say no is really essential, critical self-care. And it's so important. I can't even begin to tell you how crucial, how essential it is. And that you, every single one of you, deserve to do that essential self-care for what I call self-preservation. Because if you are giving out too much of your energy, part of the stress you may be feeling where you're not feeling peaceful is coming from giving out too much energy, which can lead to feeling burnt out and exhausted, or angry and resentful, what I was talking about before. And so that's why when you start doing the essential self-care, you start being able to start allowing yourself to tune in. What is your truth? What is it that you need over other people's needs? Now, I am not going to say, there are times, of course, when there's emergencies or when you have loved ones that, let's say you're a caretaker. Now, even caretakers need time away from the people you're taking care of. Okay. So there's this balance point of the yeses and the nos and the self-care and the essential self-care. It's okay to take care of yourself first. Now, obviously, if you have young children, your responsibility is to your children, and this is also the caretaker, and you also need to take care of yourself. So again, there's balance points. It's not all or nothing. There are no all or nothing evers, okay? Always balancing it. So hopefully, Anastasia, that answer. And if any of you have any other questions around that, let me know. Okay, so we have Charles who asked, does everyone change every day? Okay, so there is all of you are changing every day in some way or other. Now, you may not be consciously aware of the changes that are happening. So you may say to yourself, oh, I'm the same. I feel the same that I did yesterday. And that may be true. But perhaps you may start thinking of something differently. Like, for example, you listening to this show today, I'm planting the seeds. So whether you're listening live or on the podcast or YouTube later, I'm planting seeds that may start sprouting tomorrow, even a few hours from now. If I can support you in bringing some conscious awareness into your everyday activities, even routine activities, even washing the dishes or doing things that you need to do every day, brushing your teeth, bringing conscious awareness into that and bringing higher thoughts and starting to make conscious choices of how you're choosing to think or feel. Now, again, again, you may need to do clearing in order for you to get to that place of serenity or peace. So your clearing work is going to be essential self-care because that is part of your self-care activities. So, yes, you are changing every day. And also think about it. In your body, there are cells in your body that are dying and new cells are being born. So even internally inside your body, there's the cycle of life and new life. So think about that. So yes, we are all changing. And now now I'm going to support you into making more conscious awareness to what the changes are. Okay. So, and I also want to support all of you that I have a meditation. And the meditation is also, I have a PDF format so that you can read it or you can actually do it, which will help give you that support that you need. And what that meditation is, what the process is getting clarity and breathing and clearing your energy and connecting with your higher self, the wise, unconditionally loving part of you, so that you can then be able to tune in to what you need for the day, your message for the day, or perhaps a decision that you want to make. And you can use this meditation to support you in making that decision. And now, and remember, ultimately, this is a journey and a process. And even if you can't get the right answer right now, or learning to be able to tap in is part of the journey. So go to inspired and empowered living.com/masterclass. So you can, Rebel, can you post the links? And you want to go to Inspired and Empowered Living, the name of the show, .com/masterclass. And MASTER, not masterclass, meditation. And if I said masterclass, we are sorry. It is meditation. Inspired and Empowered Living.com/meditation. MEDITATION. So that's what you want. Inspired and Empowered Living.com/meditation. All right. So, yes. So grab that meditation to support you and help you. Okay, now we're going back to the questions in the comments. Carol says, Nanci, as I told you, you are great at setting boundaries. You set strong boundaries, but do it in such a caring and diplomatic way. This is a skill. You have it. XO. Thank you, Carol. I really appreciate that. So, yes, it is a skill that everyone can learn. So, I really want to support and encourage you that you can learn it. And I also want to support you and encourage you to know that it is an essential skill for essential self care. Notice the word essential in there because it's really, really important for all of you to learn it. And if you've grown up and you have people pleasing in you, part of your journey is going to be in the learning to say no. Because as people pleasers, okay, and I know because I've been one and I can't tell you I'm totally recovered from people pleasing, but I've worked hard on it, okay? And the people pleasing, okay, is usually, it's like you want to understand, why are you a people pleaser? Is it because you want to be loved or liked by other people? You want to be approved of? Usually those are the common reasons why you become a people pleaser, but it may be also, I know people become people pleasers because of safety. If you grew up in a family where there was abuse, it wasn't safe for you to say no, because you didn't know what was going to happen. So it could be safety, it could be love. I really want to support you, if you're a people pleaser, to start looking at what are the reasons you are being a people pleaser, so then you can find ways to give that to yourself to start loving yourself even more. Really important and crucial. So, essential self-care, learning to set boundaries and say no. And thank you, Carol. Okay, Country Corners Gazette. How do we realize we are in people-pleasing mode, and how do we get out of it? So, if you become aware that you're saying yes when you feel like, if you start saying yes and then you're starting to feel angry and resentful, that would be a clue for you. Oh, you know what? Maybe I really don't want to do this. Maybe I need to say no. Now, if you've already obligated yourself to a certain person, place, or thing, an event, you may need to keep the commitment, but it's a real powerful learning opportunity. Okay, this is what this is. This is learning opportunities to start looking at, when you're saying yes, is that a real full-fledged yes, or is it a I'm saying yes, but I don't really want to do this. And you again will know by the feelings. Your feelings are your clues, whether you're on the right track or not. Very often, people pleasers will feel the anger and the resentment. Or they may, there are people, like there are certain people in your life that may be controllers and manipulators. And they may guilt you, and you feel like you need to, that may be intimidation. And so you feel like you need to say yes for your own safety. But if you're an adult now, what I want to support you in becoming aware of is what can they do to you? Now, of course, if you are not safe and you are in a place where there is some kind of abuse still going on, that's your priority, safety, finding a safe place for you. Okay. So I just want to make that really clear. But if you are in a safe place and you want to be in that, and you really want to understand what's going on for you. Again, this is a process, this is a journey of self awareness. And the more that you can start becoming self aware, the more you can learn to say yes when you want to say yes, and no when you want to say no. And yes will feel like, yes, I feel good about saying yes. Or yes, excitement about saying yes. Or like you'll feel it. It will be a feeling or a knowing, or it will feel like the right thing to do. And again, so, how you get out of the people pleasing mode is becoming more into that conscious awareness that I was talking about. Now, you may need to do the clearing. Now, I always talk about the two types of clearing. The two types of clearing are one clearing is the daily clearing, so that you're feeling in that peaceful, serene place, or you're feeling in gratitude or love or joy, then you know that you've done your clearing. And the deeper clearing, let's say in people pleaser mode, is understanding what's underneath you saying yes when you don't want to say yes. What is it? Is it safety? Is it love? Or is it another reason? So it's learning to come to that awareness. And then once you have the awareness, then you can start doing healing work that will help you. Like, it could be inner child work. It could be doing meditations and working with that part. It could be going to a support group. It could be doing something that will support you in shifting out a people pleaser in order for you to do the self-care that you need to. And again, and I know I've been saying it throughout the show, but I can't emphasize this enough. This isn't like, oh, all of a sudden, poof. This is planting your seeds, becoming aware, doing your healing work, the clearing, and then you'll start seeing shifts. Now, sometimes you may start saying no, and you go back. That's okay, because you're in the journey, in the process of learning. Now, I also want you to know that sometimes you may say no, 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 no. And then in order to remember that rigid mode, and it's learning to say no when you mean no and yes when you mean yes. It's all part of the process. Okay. So I just really want to support you in remembering. And okay. I want to get to Mickey's, but before we get to Mickey's, I wanted to see Allie I was like, wait, meditation. Okay, LOL. Got it. Okay, so Allie knew meditation. Okay, yes, it is the meditation we are looking for. Okay, now let's get to Mickey. All right, Mickey, once you have said yes, how can you get out of it, or should you back out? Okay, so if you said yes, I think that this is a really complicated yes. I am going to say that I'm very, to me, commitments are really important. And if you said yes and you've made a commitment to someone or something, and then they're depending on you, then I would hesitate to back out. Now, if it's at your expense, where there's a health issue or something like that, you may need to back out. So I am not going to say definitely yes, definitely no. I am going to say it depends on the situation, and you need to assess how much that person needs you and is counting on you because you said yes to that and you made a commitment to them. And again, remember, this is your learning opportunity. So you may need to keep that commitment and then really ponder. And I also want to support you in remembering that if somebody asks you a question, you do not.
Sorry, Nancy seems to be frozen just for a minute, but
That
I'm sure she'll be right back with us.
I will.
Nancy?
Okay. So
Nancy.
if you are not sure, you need time to reflect. If it's yes or no, say, I'll get back to you. I will let you know. I need to think that. I say, whatever you, whatever you say, you don't owe anybody.
And Nancy was saying how you don't owe anybody. We're going to get her right back here with us, so stay tuned.
Hi there. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. Remember, you don't owe anybody a yes until you're clear. Is it a yes or is it a no? So it's okay for you to take your time for the yes and the no. So, do you know that there's more information? I think I got to all the questions, and there's more information. So, we're actually going to go for part 4. All right, let's do it. And because there's more information I want to share with you. And this was a really important show on the boundaries, because boundaries are crucial for essential self-care, which is crucial for being able to learn how to stay in a place of peace and serenity so that you are able to maintain that place of calm, maintain that place of peace. And that's what you want to do. And so we will continue with part 4 next week. And join us next week for more inspired and empowered living on W4WN, my YouTube channel, and talk4tv.com. We're live Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on Talk4. Actually, we are live. I've already said that. We are live at 11 a.m. Eastern. And you can also find us on the podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, and Amazon, and many more. So I really want to wish you an inspired and empowered day and an inspired and empowered week. Have a great one, everybody. Bye for now.